I just realized that it wasn't feeding, and we've done this much. I pushed the start streaming button, and I guess it did that, but I didn't push the go live button. Whenever I set them up and automatically start them, it's not a separate button. But when I schedule them ahead of time, it is, and I didn't think about that. So this whole time, I've been talking, and you ain't seen nothing. No wonder nobody's talking back to me. And I've got my phone silenced, so if anybody even said anything, I would have known. Good Lord. How embarrassing. Well, anyway, as I was saying, hi! Apparently, I just spent the last 15 minutes talking to myself while I was decorating nails because I didn't realize that it wasn't actually pushing any video out. It was streaming, but it wasn't live. I don't even know what the difference is. But we're getting the main charms put on, and then I'm going to fill in around them with a bunch of small decorations. We just want to get these big things set in place. And unfortunately, you've missed 3 of the nails already. But thanks, Jess, for showing up, coming to hang out. I was wondering why nobody was saying anything, and that would be why. Yeah, here's what we've got so far. I think they're pretty cute. Let me bring over the next nails decor. I'm just bringing them over one at a time so I don't accidentally knock them around and make a huge mess. Yeah, it never loaded because I didn't push the go live button. And you didn't tell me. All right. Yes, exactly. Shake your head for letting this happen. I got this bow that I'm going to put down here. I'm going to balance that out. And what I was saying earlier, which nobody heard, is once we get these all tacked on, we'll go around everything and reinforce it with more glue. Got all kind of crooked and slid down. We just need to get them to stay in place first, and then we can worry about the rest. Because we don't want these to fall off, so they're going to need a lot more glue. Then I've got a reindeer to put up here. There we go. So, like, typically this would look crazy. Like, this would be a lot of stuff. But because I'm going to fill it in, it's going to make it look more intentional and more cohesive. Oh, thank you. This one's my favorite bow, this sparkly one. It's so pretty. But I filed the back of these 2 plastic ones to make it have a curve so that it would sit more flush on the nail. I did the same thing with this one, though, like, you can see it's gonna need some filling in, but that's okay. All right. Ugh, my wrist. Yeah, you can do that with the plastic ones. Metal ones, not so much. Fortunately, this one was already like a curve. And this one has a slight curve in it, but because I put it on crooked, it's not necessarily helpful. I have 3 charms to put over here also. No, I have 2. They're just big. I am a liar is the problem. But we're going to put those on, and then we're going to decorate around them too. Let me get some more of this. 4 rhinestones only. Oop. My hand just tried to get away from me. I'm going to put a bunch of this up here because these are kind of chunky. Give that a second to get a little gummy and get me a bite of my chicken I'm working on. It's grilled chicken and mustard. Good. All right. So, I have this giant but beautiful snowflake to put on right here. Look at that. That's so pretty. And then down here at the bottom, we got a wreath. I don't even know if that circle is going to be even semi where it should be, but we'll figure it out. Thank you. Okay. Apparently we're going to have another struggle day. Not what I wanted to do, but I guess. And then the same thing, like because this nail has this spine on it, because of the shape, it has a harder time. Like, because this one does have a slight curve. It's just not made for the nail shape I have on. I'm going to have to take these off sooner rather than later so that I can put on some more flat curve nails. There we go. So that's the wreath that we got. Yeah. I wish it were a little bit smaller. Just because the way that it sits. I wonder if I can scoot it up a little, but that's not necessarily gonna solve that. That's okay. All right. So, these other ones have had a little bit of time. So we can start working on reinforcing those. Let me see what y'all talking about. Is there a third person in here? I can see the counter says 3, but you know it's full of crap. Thank you. You like the wreath? I have it actually in a few different colorways. I think there's even one that's pink. But I think they're cute. And I don't get to use them very often. But I've got all kinds of little assorted decorations to put in around this stuff. But first, let me just get some more of this glue put around everything. That way we know it is nice and secure. Try not to paint all over your finger. Like, that's cool. You like the tree too? I do too. It's the only one I have, and I've never used it. So I was like, this is the set. This is the right one for this tree. It's so pretty. See, I just go around everything with more of this and just kind of seal the edges. The same as you would do with a gel, really. Yes. I don't know. I think I saw a picture of some junk nails and I was like, you know what? I do love a junk nail. I was like, I'd like to make some Christmas junk nails. I have all kinds of Christmas charms that don't get a whole lot of use. I'm like, I can use a whole bunch of them at one time if I make junk nails. And I've got the Christmas party tomorrow, so this will be very fancy. Sorry if this is blurry and you can't even see. You know how changing the height does that. I heard it make a noise, but I don't see anything new in the chat. Maybe it's delayed. Sometimes you gotta go at them at a weird angle. There we go. You know, it's a double-edged sword with this air dry, because like while it's drying on my nail and being helpful, it's also drying on my palette, and so when I'm trying to scoop it up, it ain't scooping because it's dry. I gotta get some more out. Okay. So what are y'all up to? While I'm over here doing nails, what have y'all been doing? Working and being sick. Why are you sick? I feel ya. Sometimes I leave my stuff out because once you've sat at a desk all day, you be tired. And it can always be picked up later. I'm going to have quite a mess to clean up. My bed is covered in cases that these nail decorations live in. So once I get done with all this, I have a job ahead of me. But I needed to look at my things, so I had to get everything out. And I didn't feel like cleaning it up earlier because I didn't know what I was gonna need to put back. So I just left it all over my bed. Order some TV static. Bruh, why don't you just buy a case so you don't have to buy one every day? That don't make no sense. I don't know, because every day you say it. I know you be door dashing stuff crazy ways. lest we talk about the McDonald's. A week. Well, good for you. I don't care if it was 7 years ago. I'm still going to reference that as a thing that happens. I had to turn this around so I can stabilize it a little bit. See what I'm doing. The one on the corner, they've opened it back up. I don't know how long actually it was tore down, but it doesn't seem like it was very long. But I guess I don't go past that corner very often to know. Four months. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a super long time, but I guess it shouldn't take longer than 4 months to build a building, right? I mean, I know they did that churches over here like that. They just tore it down, and then one day there was a new building there, and you're like, oh. Once we get done with these nails, I can show you guys my loot. I went to Walmart earlier on one of my audits, and I got some Christmas clothes. Churches does disappoint. I know 20 years ago it was really good, and now they've definitely reformulated because it is not what it used to be. Very bland. I don't appreciate that. I don't like bland chicken. I just painted my finger again. Only 3? What places are they? Or what kind of places? Is one of them Chinese? One of them a burger, maybe? Surely pizza's got its own delivery. I don't DoorDash. It is a rare occasion that I'll be willing to pay for my food to be delivered because it's so expensive. So I'll usually do a pickup or just not have it. Because I'm like, if I'm not willing to go get it, how bad do I really want it? Because I definitely don't want it $6 and stuff worth of delivery. Plus then you got to do all that in tipping. And it's already expensive because they jack up the price. It's off-putting. Ugh. The edges of my chicken are a little bit tough. Closest Chinese an hour away? My God. Chinese food's delicious. My closest Chinese is across the street from my neighborhood. You know who doesn't pick up her food. You know who DoorDashes. That's why she ain't got no money. He's talking about my daughter. She's treacherous. Just the other night, I went out in the hallway because I heard her open the front door, and she's out there getting DoorDash at midnight. I'm like, girl. Crazy. Okay. I'm going to breathe in this book over here because we've only got a little bit of stuff left on it. But I've got some chains and some flowers, and so I want to put some of these flowers on here. I think my bottle's getting low and makes it hard to reach. A Chinese truck, huh? That's different. You know what? I was going to put a flower on this one. There's a white flower. I'll put the white flower. I was going to say I don't want to put a red or a green over here. I have the white flower. My finger is not in the camera. Get up in there. Y'all holler at me if I'm just out here willy-nilly. So hard to hang on to these. There we go. Now that's down in there. Definitely gonna have to put a bunch around that. And then I'll put like some little stones and stuff in between there, and I think that'll be nice. And I have 2 red flowers and 1 green. What do I want to do with them though? I think I might put the green one like here. And again, when I turn my hand around, it makes it where you can't see nothing. Maybe I shouldn't be so zoomed in, but then you can't see either. So I'm thinking maybe I put the green flower here. Micro cars? Like those little go-karty cars that if you were to wreck, it would just become your coffin. I don't know if that's good. Okay. Now. I want these red ones somewhere. Maybe over here. Maybe one on this side and one on this side. That seems like the most reasonable option because I don't want to put it on here. And I definitely don't want to, cram it on that one. So I think over here might be the right place. 2 flowers. They might not be holly, but they're what we have. And that's what's important. Oh, it says we have 5 people in here now. Hello, who's here? Other than Delvin and Jess. Is there someone else? We're doing junk nails. Junk nails are always fun and beautiful. These little metal roses, though, are so sharp. You gotta be careful. Let that sit for a sec. Yeah, YouTube says 4 now. It did say 5 a second ago. But you know how that is. It could be a bald-faced lie. Drop that. Come here. Okay. We're making progress. Let me get some junk. What do you do with those decals after you're done? What are you talking about, decals? I don't think that's the word you're meaning. A decal is like a sticker, but it's not sticky. So there's like water decals that you apply with water, but they're flat. They're like pieces of paper. I think you're saying what I do with these charms, which is what these chunky things are. My charms, yes. I will show you. Actually, I put them in this bag. I have a bunch of my charms because I can use them again. Usually I just get a new one out because I don't want to dig through here and see what's even in here. But some of these are already clusters. Like this is a whole nail I peeled off because it's a whole rhinestone placement design that I made. And then there's another one in here that's kind of like that where I made like a ring. So this is what I do with them. Yep. Okay. All right. So I've got these chains, and I want to see about putting some pieces on in some way. Oh, thank you. Oh, you were testing me, huh? Let me straighten these out so I can see how long they are, because I took a couple of long bits so that I could be able to cut them up. And then I've got a couple of short bits from a previous cutting. All right, let me think. It could be cool to like trim a nail, go around the perimeter. And I'm thinking maybe this one. Like maybe if I took this gold bead chain and just went around the perimeter. What do you think? Do you think these would look good together? I do. I mean, they're both gold. And then I'm not sure what kind of design we'll cram in here. Something. So we have that as an option. And you like that? I also thought about trying to trim this one instead, but I don't know about that because it's such a skinny nail. And I feel like I'd like to just put stones in here in some way, or maybe even kind of a perimeter with that. But the bow really just does come all up here, and so I think it would be hard to get at. So maybe this one's the one. Let's do that. Let me estimate how much length we're gonna need. So hypothetically, if we wrap that around, yeah, I'll have to trim it when we get it on there most of the way. I kind of want to start it at the top. I think that way I can tuck the seam up at the top. That makes sense, right? We just gotta do a little bit at a time. So I'm gonna put this rhinestone adhesive down this side, and then I'm gonna let that dry some so that we can stick the chain in it before we add some more, and it can just be sitting there while it waits for the next bit to be added. I'm definitely gonna have to wear gloves to do anything with these nails. And I wanna like fill in around these with little bitty stones. I know we used a lot of the little bitty red ones, but I do have a bunch of little bitty green ones. And clear too, but I don't know that we necessarily need a bunch of clear ones because it's already so sparkly. All right. Let's see about trying to get this on here. Yeah, all right, it's getting sticky. Just gonna get this in place. And then once this is all on here, I will go over it with the 4 rhinestones only so that it just completely seals it in. So like this. I'm gonna use my hand here to support it while it's working on drying, because the weight of the chain wants to pull on it. I don't want that to happen. There we go. Now we'll let that dry because I'm gonna have to curve it over this, and so I need that to be on there good. Delvin, why didn't you bring your nail stuff? Are you crazy? How are you gonna do junk nails if you don't bring any junk? You know? I also have some gold rhinestones. I don't know how small they are though, but we'll see. We're gonna put something. Alright, let's take some of this and get it over this curvy end. I hope it doesn't make me fight it. I don't know how resistant it wants to be to bending. If I have to cut it, I will. I don't think I need to. Seems like it's bending okay. Yeah, that's looking good. A go bag with, yeah. Definitely an emergency nail kit. Are you talking to me? What do I want for Christmas? Because you know that's the hardest question in the world. I never know. I already had to make up my own Christmas presents around here. That is my go-to answer. I'm like, you can get me more nail polish. It's not safe to nail shop for me, though, because I have so much stuff that you're likely to rebuy things. So, when it comes to decorations, don't even try and buy me decorations because I've got everything. But nail polish, either I need to pick it out, or you would have to go with something that just came out to ensure that I don't have it. And that's a lot of hassle. Exactly, gift cards. I do spend a lot of money on Amazon. I even tried to tell Rowan, I was like, just gift card. Because, like, I like clothes and shoes, but you can't buy those for me either because I have to try them on. So I'm like, there's not an easy way to shop when I don't actually need anything. Because then you have to get creative. Right, let's let that get a little tacky. Amazon's where I spend most of my money. I was just telling Rowan last night that I need to get a mug warmer because I drink my tea so slowly that it gets cold, and it's gross when it's cold. And so I have to just keep microwaving it, and that's a burden. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I will ever turn down a Christmas gift. But I'm just saying, like, if you can avoid wasting your money, just let me pick out my own stuff. It's safer for everyone. That's how my mom makes me do it, because she don't know what to buy me, but I'm like, me either. I can't tell you what to buy me if I don't know. Then she'll be like, okay, well, you go pick it out, and then I'll give you the money. And that's how we do Christmas. It took me weeks to pick out some nail polish for this one. And then when it came, I just gave her the box. I'm like, here you go wrap this. That way I can be surprised because I will have forgotten what I even ordered. There we go. It's looking good. What do you think? We're definitely going to do more, even though, like, it could be stopped because it's framed. But I want to put more in there. I just don't know exactly what yet. We're going to let that dry a while, though, while we work on another finger. Let's think about it. I want to use some more of this chain somehow. I have some of this kind that's more like links that I'd like to work in, maybe somehow down here. It's too wide to go on that side, but I'm like, maybe I do like an L. If I went down the side of this one like that, or I could just cut it off right there and just do it down the side. How much space did I have? So, like 4 links. If I cut 4 links off of there, I could put that right there. I feel like that's a little bit of some sort of decoration. You like them? I do too. I probably shouldn't be cutting chain with my little tiny scissors, but alas, this is how I do, because I'm roguish. Ugh. Ooh. let me not do that. Let me get the bigger scissors. That did not cut. It cut that small chain. Why is this one so hard to cut? Dang. There we go. Good Lord. I'm already banging my nails into each other. I gotta be so careful because I'm gonna mess up what I got going. Let me just make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Okay. Lord Almighty. There we go. What did I do with the brush? Oh, here we go. You like the green flower? I like it too. I'm going to try and incorporate some more green. I want to put some green stones over there. All right. Straighten out. There you go. Tuck up under here. Again, push that down a little bit. And then I'm just going to do kind of the same thing and just put more on top of that. That way it saran wraps it in there. There we go. That's good. I think I might go across the bottom with some stones to kind of frame that in. But I want to put something in here. Not sure what. These notifications that come up in the bottom corner of my computer cover my chat. And it makes it annoying. Get out of here. Oh yeah, you can definitely use chain. And like when you're doing those bangle nails that are super popular right now, chain is a great way to make a band of that. I have other bits also. I've got this real skinny silver one. You can't even see it. It's so bright. And then I have, you know, the row of silver beads and whatever. But I think we're going to take a break from the chain for a minute. I'm going to move that. We might get some more out after a while, but I want to get some of these other decorations. So let's zoom out a little bit here. So I've got this container. It's got a couple of like little metal snowflakes in it. I don't know if I have any spaces that are big enough to tuck any of them though. And then I also have caviar beads because we're going to need to use those to fill in some spots, I imagine. And then I've got these like white iridescent rhinestones that I want to utilize. There are some small ones on here. And then got this big old case. This is where I've got the reds and the greens. I want to get some of those out of there. And then we've got these champagne golds, but then we also have this metallic gold. And I feel like the champagne gold is more similar, let's see, to our actual like chain color though. Like, what do you think? Do you think that gold makes more sense or this one? Because this one's just so metal. You know what I mean? That's the one I usually end up using for everything, but it's so dark. But this one I don't really think of as a gold because it's more like this light brown. But I think we have more shapes in there. And then, of course, I've got a big old box of clear ones. Maybe we should work on filling this one in with the clears because I do want to. And then I also got some stars. There's some red and green stars in here, but I also don't know if there's space to fit any of those. I'm going to set those to the side. Let me get this little tray here that we put stones in. And let's get some of these green, well, not green, we don't need the green ones yet. We need some of these silver ones. I'm trying not to bang my nails, so I'm just like moving my hand around very flatly. I have some shapes in here as well that could be thought about. There's some stars, but I think to just like fill in, it doesn't need to be very big. In fact, I probably don't even have to get them out of the thing just yet. Let's get back up like this. I think we can just work out of the box because I definitely want to put stones in here for sure. And then some, you know, here, and I would like to go around the edges. So I think that's kind of the goal. Let's do that. I want this to be a very blingy nail. We still need to figure out what we're going to do here. I haven't entirely decided, but I want to do something, and it may be, I might have an idea. I might try and make like micro stripes with the rhinestones. Like that seems like it could be kind of cool. Let's see here. Let's get one of that size and drop that in there. And then one that's a little bit smaller. Drop that. Get out from under there. Actually, wonder if I should just tuck it under there for support, but I don't want to do that. No. And then we'll get a tiny, tiny one down in here. Pardon me if y'all are looking at my head. Let's get another one of those little bitty guys. Goodness, they're so hard to even see because they just blend in. Get in there. And then one more of these bigger ones like we did at the top. There, that fills that in. And it makes it super, super sparkly. Hang on. Goodness gracious. See the sparkles. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the vibe. And then we'll just continue that around the edges. I'm going to put some kind of bigger ones in some of these spots. That way they're bigger facets and then also a little bit supportive. So I just flung the brush. Like right here, I could fit a pretty big one. So let's, I don't know, I think this one might be too big. I'm going to try and tuck it up under there. Hey, it fit. That's a fat boy, but it did go in there. I wonder if I can do another one that's big like that over here. Pardon me if you can't see. You know, I'm flicking my hands around, makes it do weird stuff. Please. My rhinestone picker ain't acting right. Okay. Yeah, I got that one in there as well, and I can just put some little ones around them. I can get maybe a medium-sized one right there. Let me scoot this up while I'm holding my hand this way. Oh, let me see what y'all talking about. Oh, nothing new. Okay. Yeah. I think I can put a few of them right there of this mediumness. Get those tucked in real good. That looks good. What do you think? Yeah, you don't think nothing because you can't see it, but you can see the sparkle. I think here, because it's on that spine, we're not going to be able to put giant ones. I think I might can also get a medium up here, though. I'm just trying to put the big ones in, and then we can fill the gaps in with smaller ones. That's the vibe, I think. Bedazzled. Oh, hello, Anna. Welcome. It is bedazzled. When I flip my hand around, it gets really unclear, but like we got some stuff going on here, and we're working on filling this sparkly one in. I can put a small one here. Not super small, like second to smallest, I think will fit right there. Yeah. This nail's gonna be so blingy. I think we can do 2 of that size here. Yep, that's good. How is best to hold this? I guess like that, right? Hey, hey, girl. Once I get all this on here, I'll show you what we've done again. All right, put 2 more right there. And I think I can maybe fit 3 here because they're kind of little. Yeah. I think that's good. And then I'm going to have to use these really small ones just to do in here because I don't think anything else would fit with the way that that spine is there. So I'm just going to do this And we're going to put some in there real quick. Tuck one up in there good. And then one in front of it. And then I'm going to put one on each side of the one in the front. Yeah. There we go. That is a super blinged out nail. We've got bling everywhere it could possibly be on that one. So over here, we've got these two items, and I want to put some stuff in here, and I actually was thinking about it, that I might try and do like some maybe red, or we've used up so much of that red I keep forgetting, unless I use a bigger size. Anyway, maybe even green. Maybe I'll bling it out with green or something. I don't know. We're going to figure something out over here. I was thinking some kind of stripes. Now, this one, I want to incorporate some green stones in too. So I'm going to get a scoop of them out. And that way I can start filling those in a little bit. And then we've got this guy. And I'm not super sure what I want to do in here. So I've got this area. But I want to put more in here. I just want it to look nice. And I kind of want to stick with the red and gold. So I'm thinking about how I might be able to incorporate some of those gold rhinestones maybe in here. Maybe. We're going to think about it. And then I've got this one over here. We've got a piece of chain on it, but I want to do some more stuff. I might even try and put some kind of piece up here. And I want to use some of these white ones somehow. Especially because there's a lot of like pearlescent and stuff. So maybe we'll do like a smattering, put like a few in there and then fill them in with silver ones. Maybe, so they're like flakescent. Let me put these away for a minute. Get them out of the way. Swap it out with this. I've just got so many things here. More green. Yeah, I definitely think that's the right move. Oh, Letitia, hi. Welcome. Look at our junk we've got going so far. Thank you so much. We're having a great time. At least I am. Let's open this up. I'm gonna spoon out some of these green stones. Let me zoom this out a little bit. Thanks, girl. So unfortunately, like my colored stones, they're mixed. So they're not separated by size. I have to kind of pick at them to get what I'm looking for. And there are other shapes that are not round in here. Like there's some teardrops and like a shield and a rectangle. But I don't really have a lot of space for those bigger shaped ones. So I think we're going to not do those. But let me set those green ones right there. I'm going to close that so we don't knock it over. And we'll work on putting some green in. It's a darker green than that flower. But like, that's what I have. I do have that green, but that's definitely not the right green. That ain't Christmassy at all. So we'll do some of those. And I might... I don't want to completely fill it in. Maybe I'll do like if I do a little wiggle through here and then have it pop out down here, kind of like it's a vine, maybe. And then I don't think doing another one going down through here is the right move, but Perhaps I can go around this corner and up this side a little. I think that's an idea. Let's do that. I'm going to start by filling this part a little. Letitia, Anna, what have you guys been up to today? Thank you, Delvin. All right, let's put that in there, and then what size can I shove in there? But I can put one of these. Yes, yes I can. And then I think the next one I can actually size up one. If I can tuck it up under there. Yeah. And then I'm going to do another one of that second size. Oh, you like them? I use them a lot. They come in these little like assorted containers. And I got them in all of the colors. But I use the crap out of those flowers. Oh, dagnabbit, I think it dried. Or I didn't put enough up here. There we go. At this point, I think I'm just kind of going along the edge of this big flower. This is the first time I've ever been able to use this charm. I have it in a few different colors, but they're just so big. My nails aren't usually big enough to accommodate them. Let's put this big boy up here. I think that looks pretty nice. And I want another little bitty one right next to it, I think. Well, I just hit the tray with the picker. So I have made a little scatter. Let me pick them up and put them back in the tray. I see yesterday wasn't my only chaotic day, but at least today I'm working with my dominant hand, and that helps. Which, by the way, look what happened right before I started this. I don't know where that went. After all the struggle we went through with that nail. You just finished your live a little while ago. I wanted to come, but I was out doing my errands, my audit jobs. I want to see those nails. I'm going to be looking for them. I have to go back and watch your replay. Yes, glad you came. We're hanging out, doing some fun stuff. You know, now that I've kind of gone along it, I was like, should I? Well, the original idea was to come out and we'll go. Here's what we'll do. I really got to get better at tipping that over or open a new bottle because it's low. We'll come out and then go down this side a little bit because we got some small ones we can do that with. Let's tuck that up under there. And then this medium one. Am I in the camera? Okay, yes. You know, I'm not very good at it. My head be in the way. Or I'll just be elsewhere entirely. My sleeves are getting caught on things. Thank you. I am liking it too. Even though it's not the same green, I think it still looks good. And another tiny one. That's cool, I think. You know, and I feel like I want to put another little bit of green right here, just so it's like even here. But other than that, I don't actually think we need to put more green on this nail. Like, I kind of like the vibe. It kind of just goes through here like a vine. A little accent, if you will. So it might be sensible to stop with the green. Maybe put in some... Should I even put in some clear ones, or should I just leave it with the silver? Because, like, we don't need to use a ton. Or what else should I shove in there? You know what I could do is use the caviar beads and go around the rest of this flower, and then potentially do some of that silver chain here. The bead one. This one. Let's see. Like, so if I just used this to bring that together, what do you think? Caviar beads and chain? I think that seems like the right move. Let's see if we can't get a good measurement. We need to cut it right there. If y'all would have seen my struggle with the scissors earlier. Okay. I'm trying to keep my eye on where I want to pick this up to cut it. If I cut it too short, we're going to have to live with it. There we go. Let me scoot that out the way. And then I've just got so much crap sitting here because I'm using all these tools, but they're just all getting kind of gluey together. Let's put some of this on here like we did so I can get a little bit tacky. If I didn't cut this long enough, we'll just add some extra beads. It's impossible to do nails without clutter. Thank you, Letitia. I'm liking it. Sometimes I don't love my nails, and sometimes I like them pretty well. And I think we're doing some good stuff here. I think that's okay. It's kind of a little gap, but that's all right. That'll give us some room to go across the end. Let me just put some on top of that so that can meld. All right. I don't feel like I got a whole bunch of that glue down here. Okay. Now, let me move those things out the way. Let's get this tray of caviar beads. I'm going to scoot those green stones over. Let me move this chain. Get out of here. think we want to go for these white ones. Now the easiest way to work with these containers is to just rip the whole top off, but then you run the risk of smacking it. So I'm just going to try and make these stay open and not smack it. Yeah, we're not even kind of in the screen right now with that one, but ugh. Okay. Start me another little puddle. I've got two big old puddles. Do a little at a time. So I think I'm going to start with one of the bigger size beads up here under this flower. Matter of fact, I'll just use this stickum to pick it up. We'll get another one of those big ones, and then we'll move down to the next size, I think. Get in there. Now it wants to stick to my thing. That's why I don't use the sticky on there. Okay. Now just get a few of these put in here, and then we'll add some more of that stuff. It's so subtle because it's all kind of the same color, but I like it because it's like you can see there's something going on, but it's discreet. Okay. Jeez. Look, see, I can't hang on to nothing. Can y'all see around my big old head, or is it in the way? Oop. That's not where I told you to go. Get up here. All right. Now we gotta do the connection down here at the bottom. And I feel like, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Is kind of just fill it in. Make like a triangle area. I think that's how I want to make that work. One more. That's a cluster of them. I just need one. Please. There we go. Oh, Lord. See if we can clear this up for you. So there we go. You can see I've just kind of filled that corner in. And then you can kind of see the line of that on there. I'm going to go over all of that with some more 4 rhinestones only, because we want it to be real good and sealed in. These got to make it through the weekend. I have to repair that other thumb already, and that makes me mad. Definitely got to take an emergency repair kit. Okay. I like it. Of course, now that we flipped it over, you can't see nothing, but I think we should leave the rest of the silver the way that it is, because we do have a lot on here. So it's definitely a junk nail, but we're still getting the benefit of the sparkle from all that silver behind there. So I feel like these two nails are good. They don't need anything else. What do you think? Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Let's think about this green one here. Let me zoom that out just a little bit. So, I was thinking we could do stripes. Should I do... I don't want to use red, because I've already used a lot of red stones on my other nails, so I don't have very many tiny red ones. So I could do like alternating silver and green, or we could just like fill it in kind of with green, or I could just do a rhinestone perimeter with the green. What do you think? What should we do with this nail? Rhinestone perimeter? Or, I keep forgetting I have these. Their small ones are not like super, super small. So maybe we save those for the thumb decorations. I'm going to get some more of these green ones out because I want to try and go for like the smallest ones. Uh-oh, I just dropped some into another container. It's fine. Okay. Now I want to start on it up here around the top because like I'm going to have to do some hella tucking to try and get it up under there, especially because I put this bow on in such a way that there's not really any room behind that one. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna try and do the tiniest of stones. Start here. If I could just not get this everywhere, that would be so cool. Just trying to tuck him up under there. And you know, you can't see behind there real good, so if there's like a little gap, who's to know? Right? I think that makes sense. It'll just be a secret gap. There's freaking hairs everywhere. I just had one stuck to my nail. And then I had one stuck to the end of this thing. Let's see if I can't get one behind here. Ugh. Okay. I know there's space for one back there. Just get it in There we go. Had to finesse it. But it's in there. I'm going to hold this nail like this. Let me unblur. Hey, Mabel. How's it going? We're doing some decorating with these tiny green rhinestones. Or at least that's the attempt we're making. I'm having to like put these on here one at a time and then get it where I want it to be before it dries. Yeah, that's coming along. Thank you. Are you feeling better? I know being at the hospital sucks. When I was in there last, they had me to where I was about to start crying because I just wanted to go home and they were taking forever. And I was like, man, I'm about to just leave. And then they started saying, well, if you leave, your insurance might not pay for your stuff. I'm like, come on now, y'all. So they did at least take some pity on me and hurry up and give me my discharge papers. Oh no! The camera just died. I'm going to have to change it. The battery. Oh, it's him. Yeah, y'all are just waiting. Alright. Let's swap this battery out. Yeah, you know, but it did last an hour and a half, so I guess these new batteries have a little bit more capacity. I think I've just pushed a button and I have no idea what button it was because I can't see it. Everything seems to be fine, so what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, here's what we've got so far. We've got quite a bit of junk going, and we're just working on making a little perimeter on this one. Still thinking about what we're going to do on the red one. And then I'm planning on incorporating some of them white stones on the thumb along with some silvers. Some kind of design. These stones that I'm picking up and putting on here are not all the same size. So like they're super close to the same size and you can't really tell they're not until you get them next to each other. Like this one here is obviously smaller than these two. But when they're just over here, they all look the same. It's like, okay. Right, exactly. But because I'm all over it, I can tell. Nobody else will know, which is why it's fine. But it's just Boy, the eyes be deceiving you. When we get down to this corner, I'm going to have to be strategic because I want the stone that I use to fit into the corner. Uh-oh. Over here holding my breath while I try and do this again. I feel like if we try and put two in there, it's not going to fit. So I'm just going to try and do one that's a little bit bigger. Like that. It's like 2 sizes up from that smallest one. I think it's small enough that it's not immediately noticeable that it's not the same, but is definitely bigger. And then we'll get back to trying to do these tiny fellas. And then right here on that spine, it's really hard to kind of look at these because they're the same color as the background. So sometimes I'm not sure if I'm actually looking at it. Now we're going to do another move like we did over there where we use one that's just slightly bigger. Is this the same size? That's too big. What about this one? Is that the size? I think so. Symmetry and all. Okay. Now we just got to finish going back up this way with it. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't have the best eyes. So, I used to wear glasses. But I believe it was my left eye, I can't even remember at this point, was worse than my right eye. And my right eye was so minutely bad that it wasn't bad enough to fix. So I had LASIK and they fixed my left eye, which was really weird because my brain had to adjust to that then being the good eye, which felt strange, but it did. But because of that, the right eye is still not as good. And so while I can see and I can live my life and stuff, it's not perfect because of that one eye being a little bit less qualified at the job. And they say typically that when you have LASIK, you'll end up having to go back to glasses in about 10 years' time just because, they do deteriorate and you can get more surgery, but I don't know if I'm going to do all that in 10 years. But, what year did I even have that surgery? Maybe 22? Maybe? 22 or 21, I'm not sure. But I tell you what, it was definitely worth it. Just to be able to wake up and see, that's cool. I spent my whole life in glasses. I need to... I've almost completed the perimeter. 1 or 2 more stones. Dang it, these notifications be on top and in the way. Well, hey there, Katie. Welcome. God, just notifications. Every time I clear one out, another one pops over it. I can't even see. 1 second. I think I might can just stick one up under there, actually. If I use this size one. Yeah, there we go. Now let me clean that up because I just got rhinestone glue everywhere. There we go. I'm going to go around the edges to try and reinforce these, but I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? You like it too? I think it was a good plan. Clean this brush off a little bit. Don't call me a glasses traitor just because you're jealous, Delvin. You just wish you could wake up and just see things. That's why. Thank you, Letitia. Just gonna use this to fill in all this gap so that it doesn't have like weird light lines. Go under here. Gosh, I really need to get more out at a time. It's making me work for it. There we go. I think we got it on there pretty good. That's good. Okay. All right. Let me straighten my fingers out for a minute. They hurt from being curled up. So. Thank you. I am also enjoying them. We still need to figure out what we're going to do here. Like, I want to do something. I just don't know what. Like, I don't hate it the way that it is. But it's a little unusual. What should we do? What should we do? Any ideas? What can we do that would not make this ugly? The Nutcracker is very on brand. Pearls? In what way? I have pearls. But what would we do with them? I know I'm going to use these little white iridescent stones over here with what we got going, and then like mix in some other stuff. I might even put some gold stones, them champagne ones actually, to, you know, bring this kind of together. That might be what I do over here, because I definitely want to connect this chain to some sort of something. We'll figure that out though. I guess let's just go to this one, and we'll come back to that one, because we may not end up doing anything else to that red one if we don't come up with a good plan on how to make it not ugly. Let me put these green ones away, though. I think we're done with those for the time being. And let me see here if I have any tiny of these champagne gold ones, because I know that in here there's a bunch of bigger ones, but I don't really want the bigger ones. I don't think there's any tiny ones. I have some not super small ones over here, but there's a few. Let me just fish some of these out so you can see what I'm doing. These gold ones, I'm going to try and fish some of the smallest ones out of here, because I don't have any tiny ones of these champagnes. Well, I bet in one of my cases I do, but I would have to go get them. Let me get some of these sizes out if I can. Now, when I say these sizes, we all know that it's actually going to be two different sizes, because they don't look like two different sizes until you get them next to each other. Please, flip over. And I don't need a gazillion of these, really. Just a few. Enough. We can try and make something happen. And I do have gold caviar beads that we can also incorporate. Okay. That'll have to be enough, because there's not very many. So I'm going to set that right there. Let me put my spoon out of the way, and then open this up to its smallest container. Let's see. So this is the size of these that we're going to try and incorporate. I feel like I should just put one big one in here, right? Let's see what size maybe I can put in there. This one might be too small. Yeah, that's a little too small, but I wonder if the next size up is too big. It just barely fits, so I think I'll put that in there. Yeah, the red one, I just don't know what that something is. I feel like it does need something, because it's just a little bit too unjunky, but then it has like two charms, which is like, what? But I just don't know what it is going to be, because I don't... It might just have to be a modest nail. Super small rhinestones. Well, the thing is, what color would we do? Because I've used up all my tiny red ones, and I don't have very many tiny gold ones, as you just saw. I guess I could put silver, because I do have these clear rhinestones that are part of the charm, but then what would we do with them? How would we arrange them? Is the thing. Sugar crystals. I do have sugar crystals. Them little bitty tiny ones. But I don't want to completely cover up the red either, because then it kind of defeats the purpose of it being there. We gotta figure something out. In the meantime, let's try and do something worth looking at. I'm gonna go across the bottom here with those gold stones that I dug out. They are very small. I hope I got enough of them out to at least get across. I don't mind a little textural variety. I don't know if I can fit another one on this corner. I'm gonna try it though. Like, it feels like it's leaning, like it's sticking up in the air for some reason. I think I'm just gonna have to be okay with it being like that. It's not right. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. If it is completely clear and it's not backed. I do have some that are like just straight up clear. And then I have those tiny ones. I have to see about doing something. Let me just get one of these out here and let's do a little test. You like it? I think it's okay so far. We'll see what I get worked out. But let's just put this on here so we can look at it. So, while yes, it's clear, I feel like the way that it refracts kind of makes it orangey yellow. Like you see in the top of that. I don't know if that's the vibe. I don't think that's gonna look right. Oh. Let's put that up. We can still think on it. And we'll come back to it. Yeah, it does. I have only 3 more of those little golds that I got out. I'm going to put them up here in this corner at the other end of this chain. Right here. There we go. That kind of brings that together. I want to, let's get some more of these whites because I definitely want to get some put in here in this little gappy bit. Just never know how to hold my hand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get some of that stuck off in there. I think I might be able to put in a few different size ones in here. I just got to get them tucked. That's trying to flip over on me. I don't want that. There we go. Let me get one of these medium-sized ones out. Yeah, there we go. Just put some more of that in there. Make sure it's good and sealed in. I think that's nice. And then maybe I'll leave that open. I think we'll just do like a smattering. So I'm going to try and put a bigger one here, not the giant one. I don't think that's necessary. Well, it might fit. Let me get one out and check. Some of these, like, they have a drastic size change, and then some don't. If I put that there, that's going to be a big boy. But it fits, so I think we will. I think we will. Get that out. There we go. There we go. Now, we'll put the next one there. That literally barely fit. It's like all up on the edge. And I think I'm only going to be able to fit one of the small ones down here at the bottom. I don't think we'll be able to go along the edge with it, but I can put some beads. Yeah. Let's see. Shall I throw in some gold beads or some white beads in this gap? What do you think? Gold beads or white beads? Probably only be able to fit 3 or 4 in there, depending on the size. Let's just do the white. We can do some gold up higher. Let's just put some of these in here. Oh, I don't need a whole bunch. Dang, don't give me a whole cluster. I can fit one more. There we go. I'll put some more of that on there. Make sure those are good and sealed in. Go up around the edges of these. Okay. All right, we're making progress. Now, we've got this little area that we can do something with, and this little area that we can do something with. But what is that something? I wonder what I could tuck into here. I've got some stars, but I think they're too big. I don't think any of them are dark green either. I think all the greens are light. What should we tuck in there? I want to do something. Wonder what's in here. No more green stuff. Those are the white flowers. Got some half pearls and some... I have some triangle back rhinestones that we can lean. So like, I do like to do that. Let me put this glob here. See if we can get one of them out. It's going to be kind of hard, but I might have to use my finger to rescue one. Almost had it. There we go. This is a big one. That's alright. Like that. It's like a clustery. And then see about if there's a not giant half a pearl in here. I do have some clear stones though, like these. Could put one of those here. I think that's okay. It leaves me a little bit of a space that I don't know what to do with though. Guess I could put a bead in there. Or two. Let's just grab a couple. Okay, got that area kind of filled in. I still have this one back here though. Got a kind of a big half a pearl that we could use. And that takes up a little bit of space, like we could put like right there, but then what? I wonder if I have one that's a little bit smaller that I could put next to it. I don't know. Let's see. Or that one can be the smaller one because I have one that's slightly bigger. Maybe we put two of these in. You guys just listening to me ramble because I do a lot of rambling. Let me close those white stones real quick. Okay. Let's just get this area gooped up. Take this bigger one and we're going to shove that right there, and this next size one and shove it in right here. I think that works. We are going to have to put top coat on top of those though because their pearliness will rub off. What did I ramble about? I ramble about everything. I'm just, you know, talking about nails while I do nails. As you do, you know, as is customary. I have a little space right here. I need to put something in there. Maybe one of these little clear stones. If I can get one out of here. No, that does not fit because it's not flat back. I need a flat one. None of those seem to be flat. Okay. Let's just close that and we'll just get a flat one out of this other container. Let me see if I can get another small one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's a nice junky nail. It's very full. I like that. We still don't know what we're going to do with this guy. I can't think of how we can put something on here that doesn't look crazy. Maybe we should just leave it. Let's look at everything. I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to leaving it because this one also has a very similar vibe with just the two charms and a perimeter. What do you think? Shall we let it be? Because I'm not really thinking up any good ways to make it enhanced but not crazy. You like the big pearls? Yeah. I like it too. It gives it a little something something. It's definitely chunky. These are junk nails if I ever did see. We're losing daylight too, so I don't know about getting photographs of them, but I'm gonna sure try it. You love them? I think I love them too. What do we got? Yeah, these two flowers keep banging together. I know what I'm gonna do though. Because they're gonna try and lose their color, I'm gonna put some of this all over them. So hopefully that will help them not do that. There we go. That'll have to dry. You think they're perfect? Yeah. I think they have reached their maximum level of beautification. They're pretty good. Okay. Well, thanks for coming and thanks for hanging out and helping me pick some designs. You guys know how much fun that is. And we've got these really cool nails. I'm going to try and catch some of this daylight to get some photos. And so you'll see those come up on ye old socials. And I got to catch up on everybody's videos that they've been posting today. So I got plenty to do. But that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.